Cool.
Dear Reuben, welcome.
Thanks, man. Thanks for having me.
Yeah. For for now, in the last few weeks, it has been very fluid and intuitive with you, in such as we try to schedule and plan ahead, but usually we just spontaneously confirmed and everything always worked out fine. So I can sense at least already a certain neuroflexibility with you. I really like that. And
Great.
well,
Might be the medicines.
yeah, vibing well. And dear guests, Ruben, um, we're just getting to know each other since about a month. Um, this this beast is also going big on biohacking, on men's health, men's fitness and vitality. In general, I would say human optimization. And
Correct.
besides the methods that you use and that we also like that we share in common, how would you describe yourself actually? What is your purpose, your goal with all of this?
Oh, my purpose. Initially, it was to heal myself
Yeah.
and to actually feel better myself.
Hmm.
And then I discovered that along that healing journey, I discovered that we can actually feel a lot of the time we can feel way better than we were thought. Like the system told us, oh, like you're supposed to feel kind of sick, you're supposed to feel kind of depressed, like your life is supposed to be kind of gray.
Yeah.
And then I realized that, well, that's bullshit. My body and my system and um, it's meant for feeling fantastic, and and that's what I want to experience
Hmm.
most of the time. And then after a while, I realized that I had learned many things along the way that other people didn't even have a clue about and that they didn't know. So it became my purpose to share that with the world and make it a better world through well-being. Mm, wish was something that, I mean, since I was little, I wanted to. I had these ideas of impacting lots of people, but I
Hmm.
didn't really know in which way. Like
I
then I
see.
went to university and I thought like, oh yeah, maybe I can do that through this professional path. But I realized that was not going to happen, and then well, this kind of unfolded
Yeah.
as I am telling you. Yeah.
And then also, was it for you also about finding out that the more you share your knowledge and your discoveries about health and about the human biology, um, the more it also helped you to heal and to stay healthy. Not only this individual aspect about my healing, my health, I want to be fine, I want to have a pleasureful day, but then also it becomes something bigger. Like I'm asking because for me, it was not easy to change my beliefs about health. It was not easy to change the health paradigms that I had in my head because other people had the idea of what is normal, you know? And I was like, no, this is I understand that all of you believe that this is normal to feel this shitty or this crappy, but I think it should be different. I think it should be normal to feel fantastic. and to feel full of energy and striving. So if I truly believe in this, then I have to share this, and I have to help other people in this, because I don't want to stay in my own bubble the rest of my life. I could go
Oh
into the
yeah,
mountains, to the
definitely.
glacier, and meditate naked and just be blissful and transcending and illuminated. But I want to share this with other people. I don't want to live this on my own.
Yeah, definitely, absolutely. Like along that path, you realize that emotional well-being comes through others, and emotional well-being is a big part of your health. No? Emotional well-being comes with that interaction, and then your mental well-being and your mental health. Uh, it comes with that interaction and being social and engaged with others.
Mm,
And yeah, at some point I realized that as well, what you're saying. If there's no community, if there's no um, other people similar, doing similar things, learning, enjoying themselves, going through their dark nights of the soul and experiencing themselves in this meaningful way, then there's no point, because yeah, as you said, like I'm gonna be stuck in my own bowl, and at some point it's not gonna be meaningful anymore, um, because I always remember this phrase of this movie Into the Wild. Have you
mhm.
seen it?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, when he says like happiness is not real if it's not shared, or
Mm,
something like that.
mhm.
And yeah, yeah, I think that's at the core for sure. And to really optimize ourselves, we need that. Yeah, family unit, community. I myself, I'm building that slowly, slowly. But yeah.
Then this would lead me right to the next question. What was your the darkest moment of your soul, the darkest night, and how did you
Oh.
get out of it? I want to start
Uh,
right with the most interesting, with the heaviest thing, because I kind of stopped being too interested in the perfect and most optimal state of someone, but
yeah, yeah, yeah,
I'm really inspired to be able to witness, to see where someone came from and how did he or she get out of it, you know? Because
yeah,
there
yeah,
is
yeah,
where
yeah.
probably the hugest growth lies in. So yeah, please share.
Oh, well, I think I haven't had like a really dark night, just one. Maybe there's been like a few smallish ones.
Uh-huh.
Um, but one that I can think of is definitely before I lived in Australia from 2015 to 2020 to 2019.
Mm-hmm.
So before leaving, I was working as an engineer, and just before that, well, I graduated from uni, and then I started working.
Mm-hmm.
So when I graduated, I didn't want to go out into the world. Like, even though I was like academically ready, I didn't feel like, oh, I want to finish this and go out and start working.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the first time I went to therapy. And then my therapist at that time helped me realize that I had a big issue with my father by him being absent in my childhood.
Yeah.
So definitely start. That was kind of one little one, realizing that and realizing, oh, I have pain and anger in my heart, and I need to move through this because my father didn't show me the way and how it's done in the world. So now I have to figure out by myself. So that was one, and that came along also with stopping so much alcohol, because I think I was for many years, um, started in high school and then all the way through uni. I was hiding my pain and my insecurities in alcohol. So that going through that process of realizing, start realizing my shortcomings. Like, oh fuck, where I'm not really good, where can I improve? Um, but if you're drunk all the time, you don't realize. So like, okay, let's stop this. Let's figure out, see how I really feel with myself. And deciding to, at some point, deciding to leave. Like, okay, I'm out of the country and out there. Uh, Probably realizing like, oh shit, um, I'm still an adolescent in many ways, because, as you well know, we don't have rituals of passage. We don't. We are not initiated men.
Yeah.
We're kids, and then we're in this adolescence that doesn't really exist in other cultures. You're a child. You're a boy, and then you're a man, and then you're a girl, and then you're a woman, but you're not an adolescent,
Mm-hmm.
right? So I realized like, oh fuck, I'm not really a man. What does it mean to be a man, and how do I become a man, and and all this through going maybe through like a couple years, even to this day, but not so much. But like, okay, I need to become a man for myself, because I was not taught how. Like, no one, like I didn't have any like strong masculine healthy reference in my
Mm.
life. So yeah, like, oh shit, I need to find those, and I found them in the internet. So that was good. And then
It's a long
another
path of
one,
experimentation,
yeah,
finding new
another little
idols,
one.
and then
Oh yeah, tell me.
giving up on these idols, finding better idols, and also I just want to put the reference of a great author called Jack Donovan, who I can really
Oh yeah.
recommend to everyone who wants to read and contemplate about what does it mean to be a man and masculinity. Um, what he highlights very well the difference between being a good man and being good at being a man,
Mm-hmm.
because it is important, and life a lot is also about what other people expect from us and how we could help them or serve them. But actually nowadays, in also in a lot of leftist liberal cultures, I feel like men are getting very distracted by what others expect of them, what they have to say that is right, so that that they can maintain a good reputation. And but it's all hiding behind their fears of not being accepted. But what is
Mm.
the price? It's the price or the sacrifice of actually
Your
not being
soul.
proud of yourself, not accepting yourself in
Yeah.
the first place. So then there is this part of being good at being a man. What are your values? What is How do you define your self-worth, and how do you define the worth of life? And then stick to this, work on this progressively every day, and not depending on the approval or the confirmation of other people, of other authorities, and therefore becoming a stable and reliable pillar, like the pillar of this house, so that other people, your community or your family can rely on you. But yeah, so wanting to serve, but also voluntarily choosing how to serve. I think that is
Yeah, yeah.
the dance, or where we are finding, trying to find the balance.
Yeah, I feel what you say is so important because when you find that inner authority, that inner voice, that inner um, guidance, and you're true to yourself, and then you're not expecting the government or the OMS or whatever the fuck international organization um, that no one elected
Yeah,
in
yeah,
the first place
nailed it.
um, to tell you what to do with your life, tell you what to do with your health, tell you what to do with how you're supposed to live, and then you're like, fuck, like, yeah, don't give a fuck. Like, I'm gonna do what I think is best for me, and then yeah, you become that. You start strengthening that pillar, and you start strengthening your voice, and you start feeling proud of yourself because you have the inner criteria to not follow along with the masses and the stupidity that we often see in our society, and then it's like, oh yeah, I feel great, and if they want to just be obedient and blind obedient, then well, that's their problem, but I'm not going that way just because some authority tells me. And I think the word authority, it comes from author. So who is the author of
Uh,
your own life, of
of
your
your path,
life,
of your
right?
story, because it's not his story, it's my
Hmm.
story and your story.
Yeah, 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 yeah. How's the
But
tobacco?
yeah, got a tasty tobacco here in some mambe. Um,
Great.
uh, yeah, I was just thinking about Australia because the pandemic hit hard over there, right?
Oh, yeah,
And
apparently
but you
so.
escaped it. You escaped it right before it
Yeah.
started. You were back at Colombia.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Mm.
true. And I heard news there, and in cities like Melbourne, it was a bit crazy, and all these fines, and like, yeah, I think that's another conversation. But that, well, that was a dark night of the soul. That now
Yeah,
that I think
the,
about it,
exactly. But
like
how did you get out
realizing,
of it? The travel helped you?
was that?
So like the question was, how did you get out of this maybe depression of purpose? You were leaving the university, and but not yet quite feeling ready, actually, not feeling a man, like what am I supposed to do? But then you went to Australia, or how did the story
I did
continue? How
finish.
did
I
how did
did
you get
finish.
to the sunlight in the morning?
I went to therapy, then I realized, oh, I have this pain, this anger. Then we went through that. We did some. I don't know if you've heard about the psychomagic exercises, which were created by Jodorowsky, Alejandro,
Mm-hmm.
right? And so with an act, a symbolic act, um, you do something, and you're unconscious, um, because it's symbolic. It goes through that experience and moves on to the next phase. So, for example, I killed my father. Uh, so we did like a watermelon, which is red on the inside, right? And I think it was a hammer, and I just put out uh, my rage, my pain, no excuses,
Yeah.
right? So, like as a child, if you don't have your father, uh, you're not you're sad,
Yeah.
and you start creating excuses for them or for him, like, oh yeah, no, he has to work, he's busy because he's giving me this and this and this, so I must accept his sacrifice. But down there, uh, you're in pain. So it's about, so that exercise was about um, externalizing that rage and that sadness. And I could move through it then. And I graduated, and yeah, I started working. Then I started feeling like, oh, fuck, this is what this is about. Like in the office, long days, just sitting there,
Mm-hmm.
typing.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, wow, this is gonna be like for 20 something
Years.
extra years or
Fuck
more.
it. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I started having like that. At that time, it wasn't like fuck it, but it was like, oh, I need to do something different, experience something else. And then I started traveling. Like, I moved to Australia first as a student, and I stayed there for 4.5 years.
Mm-hmm.
There, I realized um, the power of working with your body, right? I was vegan though, but I was working in construction, so I was still feeling fine. Like, it was like on one side it was shit, but on the other side it was good. So yeah, I think that helped me a lot to realize, like, oh, I am not just good for books and to study. Like, I can do other things, and I
Mm-hmm.
can learn whatever, for example, that a trade, right? If I want to learn a trade, I can be like a tradesman, or I can just work at engineering as it was supposed to be. But I can decide, and I can create different paths
Well,
and learn
of
different
course.
things. At
Continue
that
to
time, it
evolve.
was just like high school, university, work, retirement, and that's it.
Yeah.
So that helped me to boom, to open my mind to new possibilities.
Mm. This brings me somehow to conclude that in one way or another, we are all in a continuous process of initiation. Like life itself, life itself initiates us. But now, hopefully, we can awake to become conscious of this initiation and start to participate in designing our own initiation in a more optimal way that is precise for what we
Yeah.
need as a soul, and also then, of course, for the people around us. Because it's like the diet, you know? Someone who goes to McDonald's or fucking Kentucky Fried Chicken, he tells me, oh no, I'm not on a diet on those days. I'm not too strict. And I know, fuck you. You are on a diet of McDonald's and Kentucky Fried Chicken. So don't tell me you're on a diet. You chose this. Okay, if you choose it, fine, go for it. It's your life, it's your freedom. Uh, Enjoy it.
Yeah, man.
There we're back. Yeah.
Excellent.
The
No more song for
technology.
you.
Yeah, the technology is not made for it. Maybe they're going to release a sun resistant laptop in the future, but at
Oh,
least
that'd be
we are.
great.
And yeah, I mean, I just used the seconds to contemplate about what could be adequate initiations for the modern time that we live in, because initiations never stay the same. They would not be the
Yeah.
same as 1,000 years ago or 3,000 years ago. Maybe at some point there was such a violent culture that it would be the perfect initiation to really kill your father. And I think in some socially unstable environments, this might still happen. But nowadays, however, the whole human culture got much softer, and I would also argue weaker. So you are permanently, for example, in an office that is perfectly regulated in temperature, in light, and so on. So just to have an ice bath with you as we did a few weeks ago, this is already a stark and extreme contrast to your normal life. And it is perceived as really hard to stay in the ice for 5 minutes. And while our biology is easily capable for it, or to be in the sun, or to lift some weights, this is, at least I would argue, a good first step. Maybe we don't have to
Yeah.
kill a bear anymore to be a man. We can also be a man without killing, I don't know, a deer, you know. For example,
Can we?
we could. It's in some regions,
I'm
maybe
just
okay.
kidding.
No, like for real, there are forests in this world where there are actually too many. There is an invasion of deers.
Yeah,
For
yeah, yeah,
example,
definitely.
yeah,
That's
in
something I would
Germany
like
you
to do
have an
one day.
in Germany you have invasions of wild pigs, and they are destroying even gardens on the outer realms of cities. And so you actually help also the balance of nature to maybe kill a pig. But here, for example, in the Sierra Nevada and the Caribbean coast where I live right now, there were many deers in the past. Now there are very little
Hmm.
deers, and I would even argue that it's not very masculine to kill another deer because they're already so rare.
Yeah,
And
definitely.
we cannot define masculinity only from the point of view of dominance, that like you're the most dominant alpha male, but like also what is the most, what could be the most spiritually dominant decision to make the right choice to help to help life to strive on this planet and to be an agent, a beacon of security and evolution in that sense. So beings and people feel safer with you. They are better off when they are with you,
Yeah,
for example.
yeah, yeah, definitely. I agree. I agree on that. And mm, yeah, like for example, here in Colombia, it doesn't make sense to go out hunting. Like starting with is illegal, but yeah, in order to mm, becoming that beacon, let's say that rock that others can count on, you definitely must go through some hardship of some kind.
Yes.
And that's at that time, and I also agree that initiation is like a continuum that
Hmm.
is always happening, and life is always initiating you in different ways. But for the average man out there, I think that starting with some hardship, it's a really good idea, and that's what I did at the time where I was feeling lost in this realm of masculinity. Not that I have like the whole map now, but I feel like I understand a little bit better. And I remember at that time watching in National Geographic channel like all these different initiation rites in different
Mm.
parts of the world.
Yeah.
And I I'm thinking about it, I realized like, well, they all have a common theme, and is hardship of some kind, and
Mm.
facing your fears and doing something that is not comfortable.
Mm.
It might be like putting your hand in that glove full with ants, or like um, getting your back full of cuts, or
Mhm.
jumping from a sketchy 10-meter high platform, or something of that kind. And if you're not capable to that, then you're not a man. And I'm like, okay, fuck. So let's start with something that I think is a little bit hard, or
Mhm.
is hard enough. And then that's where I started doing the ice baths. That's where I started really
Mm.
pushing myself
Yeah.
with physical challenges. That's where I started doing fasting.
I was about to say that
Um,
the next. Yeah, that was also my huge part, my huge one, fasting.
yeah, Yeah,
is,
and also I found uh, medicines like ayahuasca and
yeah,
cambo. They're not
for sure.
necessarily easy.
Yeah,
So
ayahuasca,
I
I would say it's like this m much more spiritual experience. Like it's seeing your spiritual demons, facing them. And Kambo for me was very, it, yeah, I mean, it's a visible scar on your skin. It's
yeah,
meeting
and
the
at the time I
fire.
thought like, oh, okay, this is like my thought was like this is looks challenging. People say it's not easy.
Hmm.
Okay, let's
Perfect.
do it.
Let's go.
Yeah, perfect. Yeah,
Mm.
so that was kind of my way into it. Like, yeah,
But why do we
yeah.
do it? Like, is it really because we seek external validation, telling our story to other people, and they're like,
No,
wow? No, that's not.
no, it's your own inner, let's say, validation. I don't know if that's a word, but it's your own inner growing your confidence.
Yeah.
Like,
And
yeah, like
curiosity to go
okay,
out, to leave your comfort zone and see what are you actually capable of. And that could be self-knowledge. I don't think that's a
yeah,
bad
definitely.
thing. No, it cannot.
Yeah, no, no, no. It all adds up. And I think also it becomes at some point like really, really trusting your body and trusting
Mhm.
that
Mm.
yeah, like
This is
woof,
getting
yeah,
nicer.
like yeah, because for example, with fasting, at the beginning I was like really scared, like,
Mm.
oh, my brain is gonna suffer, or I don't know, things of that kind, or like pushing myself hard on my trainings,
Yeah.
like, oh, I'm gonna overtrain, or some of that uh, mostly bullshit, because most people don't ever come close to overtrain. And yeah, like, oh yeah, I'm gonna I'm gonna in a way like damage myself.
Yeah.
And it's like, no. And for example, I have, now that I'm thinking of that, I have one initiation left, that would
Oh,
be
which
running
is
a
it?
marathon, and
Um,
then
yeah.
later on going for ultra marathon running,
Yeah.
which I've heard is like mind over body, like full on, and like
Yeah.
it's a different kind of experience, which is also very primal, because it's
Mm-hmm.
running, like we're made for running. Even some would say,
Yeah.
some would argue that we're more made for running than lifting.
Is it? Yeah, I started to became a bit skeptic about it. I was a huge like I love to run in my vegan times, and maybe it was just a bad mix.
Yeah, you were vegan.
I was vegan. Anything you do as a
Yeah.
vegan is not probably a good idea. But yeah, I mean I understand I understand the spiritual aspect of it that you say. Like probably you need to get access of a very vast source of energy that is not even physical anymore. It's in a subtle realm that will probably still take a lot of time to explain this scientifically. But no, I mean it's fine. I also sometimes think about it. But
Yeah,
just like
and
this,
when your knee
yeah.
is in pain and your leg is in pain and your feet, you're not able to walk anymore, but then you
Mm.
keep doing it. It's like there's some power there, I think.
A small physical or yeah, technical aspect about this would be, however, that in my experience in the last few years, the more I weightlifted and the more muscle strength I had, the easier it felt for me to do any persistence exercise. So the easier it felt for me to walk the whole day or to run and so on. So, and I just spontaneously think, I don't even remember his name anymore, but it's a famous bicycle competitor, and he actually does a lot of weight training. He has this huge legs, and he's on this pure carnivore diet. But then when he does the bicycle competition, he just feeds carbohydrates, easy carbohydrates all the time, and it's like easy for him. But then
Mhm.
this is always again the individual choice. Where do you put the balance on how many marathons do you want to run and how many medals and trophies do you want to win and how important the longevity and health aspect is on the other side. I guess if you achieve a marathon or maybe run one or two ultra marathons in your life and have this as this huge initiation experience that you celebrate and that you have like, yeah, that you really make a leap of self-knowledge, yeah, this could probably be amazing and even help you as a spiritual milestone in a purpose of longevity.
I think it's also in the mind. Like, I think, for example, yeah, it's about breaking paradigms in the mind. Like, and that's something I've learned from people like Cameron Haynes, David Goggins. Like, let's say they live and they live hard, but they also do this ultra marathon running, and they're good at it, at both. Let's
Yeah.
say, and it's like at the beginning you would think like, oh no, if you're gonna do the ultra marathon thing, you cannot maintain good muscle mass. It's like it's bullshit. And you have like all the signs saying like now that well, fasting might not be that good for you and longevity. But then I also think that a big part of the results is what you think that it
Will
will do
happen.
for you.
Mm.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And so if you put like 100 ultra marathons in your legs, maybe you would still live to 100, 120 T, whatever. I want to live long, but I also know that I want to live with no fear.
Mhm.
So I'm gonna push myself as much as I can, as as long as I can, um, to keep pushing the limits and keep pushing what people think is possible for you, and maybe we find surprises there, or maybe I die like from a heart attack or something, you know. But yeah, like
Very
within
noble of
the
you to
with
put yourself
yeah
out there as an experiment.
yeah
Highly
within the
appreciated.
within a reasonable
Mm.
frame, like let's see what we can do, for example with the ice bath,
Yeah.
like it's also like another thing, like oh yeah, you need to like really optimize and do it here and do it there, and it's like, well, in nature maybe you would just go in and like do it, I don't know, like when the opportunity came. So I
Mm.
think sometimes optimization is also like a bit like that, like
Yeah. It has its
there's some
limits, and I sometimes
some
also
things
get bored
in
of it
your
a little bit.
control.
If it has to be too detailed, too specific, this becomes for me just too artificial and too far from practical life. Um,
Yeah, for example, like that, have you done Vision Quest?
yes, my that was an important initiation when I was 18. I went to elders in a German forest that I still hold very dearly in my heart and pay a lot of thanks regularly in my thoughts. I want to visit them again and do an adult a longer vision quest. In that moment, on with 18 years, it was 3 days and 3 nights fasting on my own in the forest. That was my first 3 day fast on water, no salts.
Uh-huh.
Um, and they were initiated. They learned from indigenous people in a desert of the United States.
Yeah.
Um, if I maybe I'm just confusing everything, but I think they were Lakota people. So
Uh-huh.
yeah,
Yeah, for
that is
example,
still
that.
initiation that is possible. You can still
Yeah,
do it
yeah,
in a very
definitely.
professional way,
But
accompanied. Mm.
what I was going to say is that, for example, that doesn't make, like, for longevity purposes, like, let's say a longer one, 5 days fasting,
Mm.
dry fast, and then eating some peaches, like, for longevity purposes, that might not make lots of sense, and
I'm not
we
sure.
will never know.
I
Yeah,
think
we
it would
will
make a lot of
never really
sense
know.
actually for
But
longevity. Yeah.
yeah, that's the point. Like, otherwise, if you don't do that, you don't get to live and experience that.
Yeah.
And I think that that experience is what enriches your life and
Hmm.
makes life meaningful. And then the more meaning you have, then the more your will and your vibrational feel like it's more vibrant and more
Amazing. Mm.
full of vitality, and then you might
Hmm.
live longer,
We
even if
could,
that means
yeah.
doing things that are not directly longevity
Mhm.
oriented, like running ultramarathons and having like lots of stress in your body.
Yeah. We could go even we could become even more archetypical and find information in nature that confirms your theory. Because your theory is that maybe even one of the most important longevity factors is meaning or purpose. Um,
Hmm.
that is an internal source of energy, a spiritual source of energy that could be then theoretically infinite. And what is an almost infinite source of energy in the universe? It's the sun. So they
Oh yeah,
argue that it has like this in the long future ahead, it
it
will
will
burn
die.
out and so on. I don't believe them too much, but the sun, well, I don't think that the sun li puts it shines its light on the earth because it wants to be adored. I think it just enjoys, it really enjoys what it does, you
Yeah,
know?
yeah, yeah, yeah,
And
yeah.
so then we also, in the biochemical sense, we come to an also very recent discussion on different health and longevity podcasts on the internet, which is that you don't derive dopamine that factually as a hormone makes you very happy and motivated. We don't derive it from outside, from the confirmation of other people or from food or whatnot, but actually by doing something that is hard and overcoming our inner demon that tells us to stop, that tells us to seek comfort and easiness. By this,
Hmm.
in this we find pleasure, and we can create in the long term a much higher baseline of dopamine. But we're not addicted. We're not addicted to dopamine as a drug. So that would go hand in
Yeah,
hand with what you say.
yeah. How do you usually um, go about dopamine? Like,
Mm.
in your day, how do you understand it so far?
Mm. Let me see. Very good, very abstract question though.
Or
Maybe,
how
yeah,
do you manage, your dopamine
yeah. Yeah,
levels?
maybe I will just tell you a creative abstract of my life nowadays and connect it to your question. And I start with a challenge, a huge, huge challenge right now that I have and that also initiates me every day is my family,
Okay.
particularly my two children, my baby daughter and my 7-year young son, the mother of my baby daughter. And um like from a very egoistical sense standpoint of view, my life would be much easier if I'm on my own, because my
Uh,
two children, they were not planned. I didn't thought that I would become father with 21 years and then again with 28 years, 27 years, pardon me. So, but they came, and now it's like, okay, if I don't take care of them, if I'm not here and present for them, no other man will give a fuck. And maybe some man sooner or later will kind of replace me as good as he can, but no one will truly care as much about them as I do.
Yeah,
So
definitely. Is
it's if it's just about myself, like the quick dopamine that I would like, parties, other girls, uh, doing just being free, have no obligations and so on. That would be like the easy path. Um, but and when I'm in my day-to-day life, it feels like there are no dopamine highs, like I'm like, wow, so amazing. But I also don't have these hard lows afterwards. Um,
yeah.
I go to bed at the moment like at 8 o'clock. It's luxury.
Okay.
Sometimes I almost feel sometimes bad because I think, oh, I should still work another hour. I should be productive a little more. But it's dark. There is no artificial lights. There is no city. I have the nature around me. So I'm just tired and bored. And I'm like, okay, the mosquitoes are starting to bite me. Let's just go to sleep. And I sleep amazing. I sleep so much. And then I wake up without an alarm at 6 or something. And during the day, it's like this constant effort with my son who's testing the limits and who wants attention and who breaks the rules to see how I react and so on. And
Yeah.
this is not a fast track. I don't have these dopamine highs that I sometimes would like
Okay.
to have, but it's just okay. Let's do the workout. What else do I have to do? And I want to be proud of myself in the end of the day. And I stayed a human. I was a human to my son. I was a good example to him. And I wasn't too ugly with my partner. I overcame myself as lot as I could, and I was nice to her, but also nice to myself. So I hope
Yeah.
that answers your question because it maybe wasn't the technical dopamine related question that you wished for,
No, no,
but
no. I
it's still
think
the most authentic one that I can tell you in regards.
it's very important because it tells people about the big rewards in life. Because
Hmm.
dopamine is about reward, right? And our capacity to chase challenges, and that's
Hmm.
why so many men and well also women out there, they're they're stuck in life because they got used to like the reward, the pleasure of things that are not meaningful and that are really easy to get. Porn, mm, chemical drugs, stimulation of all sorts, fast food, and then they get like this huge, like, oh, I feel so good with this thing that in the big picture of life is kind of meaningless. So I think it's a great thing, like great reflection on uh, what's worth chasing and what's worth your energy and your attention
Hmm.
and what you do with your everyday life.
Maybe could we take this on a higher level? Like what you described, I guess it's a human that we it's a personality that we can find a lot nowadays, especially in the cities.
Yeah.
But let's assume it's another personality that has broken through chemical drugs, porn, and fast food. He's on the next level. What would be the next challenges for him or her? That is already better, but still is yeah, could be still better. That would be interesting. Hmm. For example,
I think really working on your purpose and
mhm,
expanding your purpose and expanding your influence in the world, that might be something. like also and at the same time having that connection with a spirit and realizing like okay, all of this is strange transient and it's not gonna last like
Mm-hmm.
in the big picture,
Mm.
but I'm still yeah, this feels good to increase my worldly power. That's for me at least that's important at this point in my life.
And yet, although you're just talking about power, I perceive a lot of neutral happiness in you, my brother, you know? They say power is actually weak because power has a debility, power has the weakness that it always needs sadness to show that it can overcome sadness. So they say you cannot have power without sadness. But they say happiness in the long term, paradoxically, is much more powerful or superior to power itself. Because happiness is just like if you're truly happy, it's just like that. Um,
Yeah, you're fine where you are,
exactly.
like content.
hmm
Yeah,
How
joyful, peaceful.
how was your experience and how is your relation right now to the shrooms and your process of microdosing? I would love to learn more about how the spiritual, the mental health um, has changed for you working with microdosing of shrooms.
Yeah. mm, I did start first with macros. So
Mm.
yeah, 3 grams, 4 grams. I eventually did 8.3 with my partner. Um, at that time, we were holding space for other people to have their experiences.
Mm-hmm.
So we really connected, or it was part of our job to go deep in that connection with them, um, and that have I think long lasting lessons,
Mm.
right? I think yeah, because the mood changes, um, they're like I think with macro dosing they're they're transitory. Like you might feel good for 1 or 2 days, but then life comes and hits you, and if you don't do the work, like if you don't do the integration of your lessons,
Oof, which
then
is a lot
nothing's
of
gonna happen.
homework usually. Yeah.
Yeah. You simply had like an experience, a psychedelic experience, and you saw some things and blah blah blah, but nothing was really integrated.
Yeah.
So I think the long lasting effects of doing that kind of work with big doses, um, they come with doing the work in the everyday life. And microdosing, I found it really helpful for helping you sustaining the moods. And
Mm.
like it's harder, it's way harder, at least for me, to go down deep into like a sadness hole, or
Yeah.
a more than sadness, because I think they allow you to feel. It's like yeah, I can feel this sadness, but I'm not going into depression, or I'm not going um, down there if I don't really need to, and I can sustain more quality quality thoughts. Like they really help you with being present, and like in the here, in the now. So all those mm, thought patterns revolving around the future or the past, like it's harder for them to happen, and you're like more here. And that's what I found with the people I work with as well. Like, yeah, they definitely see those changes, and it's subtle, but it's there and it's constant. And you still have to do the work, because if you're gonna like live a shit lifestyle, then like it's really hard. Like they're not gonna pick you up from
Yeah.
being drunk on Friday and Saturday night, right? But if you do the work, and like work on your well-being, and how can I improve my life, and
Mhm.
how can I actively change my circumstances, like they do really help you, and they give you a hand with that, with getting rid of um, old patterns, and installing those new programs for you to keep evolving. But if
So,
you don't do the
yeah,
work,
no,
like I
nothing
think
will
it's
help you.
wasted.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They say,
yeah. There's
God,
no magic
God,
pill.
please help those who help themselves,
Yeah,
right?
definitely. And I think that's so important, because some people, they're still thinking that they're like a magic pill, or they're still
Mm,
waiting for the magic pill, be that big pharma or natural medicine, like, oh, I'm gonna take this and everything's gonna be solved in my life. And
mm.
I think that's where your character and inner fortitude has to like, now let's push through this, because
Yeah.
uh, yeah, if I
But
eat this
yeah.
but stay on my bed all day, like nothing's gonna happen.
Okay, but that almost sounds like if a motivated person doesn't need them at all. So why would we need it? Or how could
Mm,
we make good use of it?
no, I like, even the more motivated person, or like someone who is really um like advanced in their inner work, like they're gonna still do the work. For example, inside yourself. For example, helping you with your sleep quality,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
Helping you with and this definitely happens, especially with lion's mane, that
Yeah.
I use this lion's mane and psilocybin mushrooms, right?
Yeah.
Magic mushrooms and lion's mane, and they work synergetically, and they do help with neuro regeneration and
Mm.
neuroprotection,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
right? So this is gonna happen as well, and your brain is gonna be like more, mm, let's say, solid, like more working better. And for
Mm-hmm.
example, they would help you as well with your creative flow.
Mm.
So let's say, okay, you're like really productive and you feel good with your life, but they might just help you give you that idea that
That
might
little
change.
extra.
Yeah, 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 a
Mm-hmm.
little extra, because they do create like that new neural connections, right? So
Creating new
they,
pathways.
yeah, 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 yeah. So that happens, and that's a great way to benefit from them. Have you tried?
The psilocybin, not. Um, I had a micro experience once with the Amanita. I think we talked about it, didn't we?
Ah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, no, 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 but yeah, I would
Yeah.
like. I haven't connected with that one, but
Mm.
yeah, there's definitely, it's a powerful medicine, more from your part of the world.
Uh,
Like, yeah, but
that
yeah,
that
it's
was the
now
funny one
everywhere.
because I saw it my whole childhood in Europe and it was supposed to be lethal and toxic. So we never
Yeah,
touched
no.
it, or our parents didn't allow us to touch it. But then when I was already huge on herbs and on on nature. I lived in Rakira, Boyacá once.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
there
yeah.
I found this huge amanita. I was running through the mountain, like, wow, enjoying. And then I jumped over it and I like, wow, what was that? So I went back, I found it. And then, thank you. So I took it. I left it on the roof to dry in the sun. And then just like through divine guidance, without any responsibility, I threw it into the blender, poured boiling hot water over it, blended it, and I drank all of it at once.
Wow. How was the trip, the
Yeah,
journey?
I don't understand what went into me. Um, yeah, but I already had the assumption that they told us lies about it because I was already on the
Yeah.
trip that most things that really help us and heal us supposedly are bad or forbidden.
Yeah, yeah,
Um,
definitely.
because
Especially in Europe.
especially in
I
Europe,
think,
because there is no interest to have us vital and powerful and healthy. There is interest to keep us small, sick, and obedient. So, okay, of course, I had to try everything. So I drank that, and it was like the afternoon at 2 or 3 o'clock. And I had this small cabin in the mountains with a view towards the sunset. And around 3 o'clock, I felt really sick. Like I wanted to vomit out my intestine. So I just lay on the couch and I had the view into the mountains. And I just saw the sun like going down and I started to sleep. And I don't know what happened, but about, I guess, 30 minutes later, I woke up and everything was fine, sickness all gone. And I feel literally like my body had no weight. So
okay,
all the weight was gone, and I was like, the thoughts were really fast. My fingers and my body was really fast, like flying around. The funny thing is in Germany they call it Fliegenpilz, the mushroom, the flying mushroom. And in the
okay.
mythology, the witches and the magicians, they would take the mushroom, sit on their escobas,
Uh-huh.
on
The
their
brooms.
on their brooms, and they would fly around.
Yeah,
And
yeah, yeah.
and now it made all sense because I was like, oh, good life. I love my life. So I cleaned my house. I did a workout. I called my mom and I told her stories like a waterfall. And I wrote a few business ideas. I did that and that, and everything was like really fast, but it didn't feel stressful. Um, Later I found out that actually the Vikings and pre-European warriors would take this mushroom before they would go to a fight or to a war. And it made sense because I had no fears and no worries. And as I was so fast, probably if I would use this fastness, this speed in fighting, like I would be a killing machine.
Okay, okay. I
No
didn't know that.
blockages, a lot of speed. So I would not take it again if for like in any situation. But I mean, I probably don't go to war in the following time. But
Never
if
say never.
never say never, there is a good tool for you.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. No, I think, yeah, well, there's definitely like it's a big healing tool. Um, and yeah, I think like indigenous people in Europe, like you had so much knowledge and like
Mm.
these big traditions, and then Catholicism came and like tried to delete it all. But
Delete button.
yeah, there's
Delete.
yeah, 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 yeah. Those forests are powerful, like belladonna and all these different herbs and plants,
Mhm.
the amanitas. Like there's a big traditions there of healing
I don't know
and
about
extra
belladonna.
sensory.
What is belladonna?
Yeah, it's from the tomato family,
Uh-huh.
a nightshade. Yeah, and you can
Ah,
do
it's
things
a
with that.
berry. Isn't it a berry?
No, no,
Like
but
it.
it has like, yeah, it's so this. knowledge of witches and druids and yeah.
Sounds
What's the
interesting.
name?
I want to
Yeah,
research that later. Yeah.
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 Well, Amanita, I think that'd be good to microdose as well. Um,
Yeah, right now we are very sorted and lucky to have a neighbor who is giving us a really good medicine. We It's very communitarian, not so hierarchical like with the Taita and so on. So it has been really good. So at the moment I don't have a need for microdosing other stuff, but it's good to have you as a connection and a reference to maybe send you people in the future because like, I don't even need to know more about your experience. I see you, um, and I get your vibration, and I know that it is a good choice, um, in any case of doubt, to work with you. Um, and
Thanks, man.
particularly in the cities, for example, I would never do ceremonies with huge doses of anything. I would always go about microdosing and slowly try to get my way out of the city by
Yeah,
so also respect to you that you are still there. But I mean, yeah,
yeah.
because the money is flowing, there are a lot of opportunities and connections, and it's not always easy to be here in the nature, although it's beautiful.
What do you think about? Do you feel isolated, or do you have like a little community there?
No, I don't feel isolated. That's not the problem. Even if I would choose to be solitary, lonely on my own, that I actually really enjoy it. But yeah, we have many neighbors here, families, children. We can go fast to the next city. We can fly to Bogota in 1.5 hours. So it's not like I cannot stay in the city if I don't want to. No,
Okay,
it's
okay.
fine. And you never feel alone because there are a lot of
Yeah.
animals here, insects. I hear the water flowing the whole day. It's very nurturing.
Yeah, I
Um,
think yeah,
yeah.
definitely nature gives you that yeah, that nurturing quality of life that is definitely harder to get in the city. Probably one of my missions is to teach people how to live better in the city. Yeah,
Hmm.
how to leverage on technology to yeah, just to access a better quality of life. Mm. Because otherwise, if you just do what people usually do in the city, like you're gonna be sick for sure.
Yeah. So maybe let's talk about a big problem that I see people having in cities, and I also myself had, which was I'm in the skyscraper and I'm enjoying the
Mhm.
amazing view onto the mountains, and I'm like, wow, now I'm the king. But then I see the Wi-Fi list and I know, damn,
Oh
30,
shit!
40, 50
Yeah,
Wi-Fis are
yeah,
just radiating through my body and penetrating all my
yeah,
cells. And I cannot escape this even if I would want to. So,
yeah.
and even if I switch off my own phone and my own Wi-Fi, there are still the 50
Yeah,
others that are
yeah,
killing me. So what do you do with clients in this case?
yeah. Well, first, definitely grounding mats.
Hmm.
You know, yeah, grounding mats. Like it's not gonna take away the EMF
Yeah.
from the Wi-Fi and all that, but it's gonna strengthen your magnetic field, right? It's gonna
Is
make
it?
it,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, definitely. It's like as if you were in touch with the earth. So you're let's talk about it in esoteric terms. It's gonna strengthen your aura,
Hmm.
right? Because yeah, so grounding mats. Then, and this is not for every client because they need that investment capacity. And
Hmm.
I think even if they have the investment capacity, some people or they're not ready to do these things yet, even though they're simple, right? But they don't feel that a non-native EMF affect them that much. It's
Mm-hmm.
like, oh yeah, the Wi-Fi is on, whatever, whatever. But what I would have them to do is buy these silver
Ah, yeah.
threads
Mm-hmm.
clothes. You
Yeah.
know, it's like natural fiber, cotton or linen, mesh with silver threads.
Yeah.
So basically, you have like beanies, you have shirts like this, you have underwear, you have pants, you have jackets, and you can put them on, and it's like a Faraday cage.
I was
So
about to
if
say
you,
that. Faraday
yeah,
cage,
so
exactly.
is your is if you put your phone inside your jacket,
Oh,
you wouldn't get a call,
exactly. Yeah.
right? So it's a physical shield
Uh-huh.
that you can wear and go everywhere around like the city and get the minimum amount of um, yeah, impact, negative impact from this, especially if they're gonna get a 5G and all this,
Mm.
it's gonna be much stronger.
Much, yeah,
That would
exactly.
be the first and easiest, those two, right?
I got a
But
third one, a
then
very easy one.
which one? Which one?
Magnesium. You know
All
why?
right. No.
It seems like the Wi-Fi, the Bluetooth, the 4G, the 5G, most of wireless stuff. It, why is it actually causing a problem? It
Because
actually,
magnesium deficiency.
indirectly, it messes with the calcium pathways.
Okay.
And as the calcium is the direct opponent of magnesium, you need two calcium atoms for one magnesium atom in your body. Like, oh, nice, I get the balloons. So you get these you have this balance that your body uses because it needs this relation of these atoms to actually transport them, get them into the cell, out of the cell, and so on. And as it messes with your calcium pathways, you lose much faster the magnesium. And by taking magnesium a little bit more than normal, you can definitely help with your pathways. And
Which one is your favorite magnesium form?
um, I mean, there are experts on this,
Yeah,
so
yeah, I know, but
we, I,
which
we
one do you take?
like at the moment I have this very cheap product from Germany, which is a good mix out of four different magnesiums. It's not the
Okay.
perfect one, you know. I think one of those is
Yeah.
still magnesium oxide, which is not the best, but it also has magnesium glycinate and taurate and so on. But
Okay.
usually at the moment, more or less the
Yeah, I
scientific
feel.
consensus is that you should have a magnesium complex of different forms. Hopefully, uh, those who end on eight, so
Yeah.
glycinate, taurate, and there are more. A good reference on
Yeah.
this definitely is Dr. Huberman, or also I think Kyle Got Camera, who has good
Oh
content on
yeah.
this.
Yeah. Yeah.
So if someone wants to research more on this, but I
Now
feel the
he's
difference when I'm
wellness
here.
daddy.
Yeah, wellness daddy. Yeah, also. So while I'm here in the nature, there is very little radiation, and I don't
Yeah,
take
for sure.
magnesium. I have no
Okay.
cramps and no deficiencies. But when I'm in the cities, I really feel like it actually helps me to relax and calm down. So that would be the
Okay.
third one. But I wanted to go to a question of the first one. When you say the grounding mats help, because I also did my experiments with grounding in Germany until I found out that in certain cases, it could actually be harmful because certain voltages or certain tensions are searching a way to go into the earth, to leave the system where they are
Mm,
trapped. So if you ground
mhm.
yourself, you might be even attract more of these voltages and be
Yeah.
a even better conductor, so they will even run through you more.
Okay.
I'm
Okay.
not an
Okay.
expert on this, but I just remember that my parents had one of those guys in their home, in their house in Germany, who measured with many different devices all sorts of radiation, not only Wi-Fi and Bluetooth, but
Hmm.
also the earth magnetics, the voltages from the from the electric lines in the walls and
Yeah.
so on. But do you know anything more about this disadvantage that a grounding mat could have?
Um, well, I hadn't thought about that. Like, if you have like all these mm, electrical power going through the network, electrical network in your building, um, I think if it's a good installation, like I would say
It
it goes
shouldn't.
straight
Yeah,
into the earth because that would be the easiest way,
sure.
right? Um, but I think that's a good point, and we're measuring it. Um, Although I think that is definitely more helpful than harmful most of the time
Hmm.
for any case. Like
Yeah, yeah.
if you're just isolated and you're not doing anything, that would be like it might be better going to the park, but most people they don't have the time, or like it's an extra step that makes it harder. So it's just better to plug it into your electrical socket, and that's it. And the other option, which is a bit
Yeah.
more expensive, is just painting your walls
Ah,
with
yeah.
these
With a black color.
protective, yeah, protective paints. No, they're not necessarily black,
Black.
but
Oh, yeah.
they come with metal, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you can paint your walls, and it's anti EMF paints that
Do
you
we get them here in
could
Colombia?
use. You would have to import them.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, so
And
it comes with
the house would
a
look
big
terrible.
investment.
But maybe it could be built into the walls in the future when we do
Also, I
more
think with
conscious constructions.
yeah, I think with yeah, like a Faraday cage as well.
Yeah,
Yeah.
true,
But yeah, that's more on the more expensive side.
true.
But I think definitely the clothes are the best option.
Easy.
And
Mm.
yeah, your bed sheets, right? Because they come also with a silver threads, so you can sleep in a Faraday cage,
Nice.
basically.
Yeah, sounds good.
Yeah, but yeah, I think about it all the time. Like it's there, and we need to do something about it.
I just try to remember if there were any questions that we had open when we hang out in Bogota doing the workout in the ice bath.
Oh well, there's so many things we could talk. Finishing with the magnesium thing,
Oh,
I
yeah.
I personally use a chloride for the
Uh-huh.
water. So yeah, it really helps with hydration. And if people listening to this are not putting electrolytes in their water, you're wasting your time, guys. Put
Mhm.
electrolytes in your water. Yeah, makes all the difference. Like you're living in nature, so probably your water has already mineral traces.
Mm.
Mm, but yeah, water, salt, yeah, it's great. Makes you feel better. I think people are afraid of a high salt intake,
Nah,
and
man.
that's yeah,
Yeah. I think salt is the greatest performance enhancer of all times. You know,
yeah.
we can just sometimes I think I just should have a 25-kilogram sack of salt here in my house. So when the apocalypse is coming, I can just go for 2 years straight without eating, no problem, as long as I have
Yeah,
salt.
yeah. Oh, you
But
have the ocean as well, right?
yeah,
That's
exactly. I have the
very
ocean here, so
powerful.
I'm chilled.
Yeah, I
But
think I think people don't
the
realize
mm,
that every time you get into the ocean, your skin is soaking in all those
Also,
minerals.
yeah, amazing. I mean, the yeah, hydration in generally. I mean, we have touched the topic of dry fasting. The body is much more capable of staying hydrated as they make us fear. Like, oh, you have to drink your 2 or 3 liters of water a day. Like, literally, no, no. I mean, if you have processed, very salty food, then you probably will be thirsty in the hours afterwards. And then drink. I mean, trust in your body. Particularly for the water, your body is very wise. But if you go through the day and you are not thirsty at all, but you try to drink these 2 liters just because your doctor or your fitness guru told you, you could actually do much more harm to yourself as you believe. So usually if you eat a food in its natural state, it has already enough water in it,
Water.
like the
Yeah.
fruit or the fresh meat even. And then, yeah, like you say, you need the sodium in the balance with the H2O so that the body can transport this water into your cells. Um, yeah, yeah, sure. I'm drinking the mountain water. Sometimes in the morning, I have my coffee and then the salt water, just a cup of salt water.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But yeah, with you, with you, I really enjoy to go into this basic foundational topics because I almost feel the time is too short and too sad to go into these details because it's hard to find people in these days sometimes to go into fundamental spiritual topics who influence our health so much. I would say that this is a huge point that I'm very grateful of that we could go through this today. So we went like from this masculinity aspect to the spiritual foundation of our existence, we could say, like the
Yeah.
mind over body. And then, of course, allow to self to take a stride into different uh, fields of optimization in health and biology. Um, for me, this was really good so far.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Absolutely. I think it's so important, and thanks for the space. Mm, yeah. Uh, I think the spiritual, emotional, and mental aspects of well-being are sometimes not totally, but oftentimes underrated.
Mm,
And it's really what it's keeping our body alive in a way. And also the root of so many diseases, like disconnection from nature and disconnection from the spirit realm and stuck emotions, right? Like, oh, I have
mm,
um, a throat cancer. Well, what are the things that you're not saying,
mm,
right? And all these things. Yeah, it's so important because it's not, if it were just about eating and hydrating and doing the right things,
mm.
it would be uh,
Easy.
relatively easy. Yeah, yeah,
Mm.
yeah. But it's about facing your darkness and your shadows and doing all that work that really, really keeps you like, ah, yeah, okay, I'm good, I'm good. Let's keep going.
Yeah, you remember me of like of the aspect I could I mean I try to keep my river clean. When I find trash in my river here next to my house, I take it out or old wood
Hmm.
or I find a dead animal. But if I could go to the source of the water and clean the source, the whole river will be much cleaner, much more fluid and much nicer to play in. So this like connects to me as a metaphor to what you say. And
Mm.
it brings me great pleasure to share this between us two and all the other people who are listening right now. Thank you very much to the listeners also. We hope that we can really bring value here to you, spending your precious time to listen to us. Um, And we are not here to be sort of your new authority or your new leader on health and tell you what to do and what not to do. But we feel like, I hope I can also talk for you, Ruben. We feel like we're brothers here, brothers and sisters, and sharing our experience, accompanying each other, being here also if someone has a rough time. And
Yeah.
this is also why we both offer our services, on personal coaching, on group coachings, in the future also in retreats here in the Colombian Caribbean.
Oh,
This is why
yeah.
you offer the ice bath, work with motivated individuals in Bogota, right? And
Yeah.
to make a good time here.
Yeah, man. Amen. Yeah. Thanks, Marius, for having me. Uh, yeah. And it was great to talk to you. And yeah, yeah, let's keep growing together. And yeah, that's it. Like each of us finding our own inner like strength and power and voice and sharing. Yeah,
Nice.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Great.
I
All right, brother.
think there we are.
See you later.
Have a good one, bro.
You too. Ciao.